Hi everyone, it is Holly with Authentic Productivity. Today I am talking to you about this book, The Plan by Kendra Adachi. It is about managing your time like a lazy genius. If you are familiar with Kendra Adachi and the Lazy Genius, you know it's all about being a genius about the things that you love and lazy about the things that you don't, which I think is a very good approach. And her system is a good one. If you're not familiar with it, you might want to check out her podcast. So here's the recap from chapter 1. I will read to you because this is a good summary of why this book was written. Plain and simple, our cultural systems, including the current system of productivity, were not built for women. We live in a productivity industrial complex built on male-dominated systems and strategies, which does not have our best interests in mind. But since that system is all women have, we think we are the problem when it doesn't work, and we just keep trying harder. This system doesn't need tweaking. The system is broken. It's time for a whole new paradigm. I cannot say that word. Anyhow, this book, I feel, is great for women that are feeling overwhelmed and like the current systems out there that they have been taught are not working for them. I know personally, as someone that loves time management and productivity books, I read a lot of them. I always just take the parts of the systems that work for me. I've never found a whole system that works for me. This system sounds really good, and I'm going to start implementing some of it. Some of it actually ties in pretty well to things I'm already doing, but everybody is at their own place, and you need to start where you are. That is one of the foundations principles of this system, is starting where you are. So let's show you. So the goal is not greatness. When we are integrated, we can passionately love our true selves and seek to live smack dab in the center of who we know ourselves to be. And here we go. Start where you are. There is no tool complex enough to hold the intricacies and daily variability of a woman's life. Even though I've spent hours trying to make one, you probably have too. But remember, we are not the problem. A patriarchal society that birthed a productivity industrial complex that keeps selling us tools that ignore our needs and lived experience is the problem. The basis, the whole idea of plan, so here's the plan. It's for prepare, live, adjust, and notice. To prepare like a lazy genius, go in the right order. To live like a lazy genius, live in the season. To adjust like a lazy genius, start small. And to notice like a lazy genius, be kind to yourself. This is the whole foundation of the plan, and the book is the rest of details. Prepare, live, adjust, notice. There is even a section on your periods and productivity, because your hormonal cycles do affect your productivity. In the strategy section, we have chapters 4, starting with today, how to make a better to-do list, plan a week, plan a month, plan a season, plan a project, what to do with goals and dreams, practicing checking in, and when you're done reading this book. And then in the pep talk section, which is meant for you to read the pep talk when the situation applies, you have pep talks for when there's too much to do, when your plan falls apart, when you can't say no, when you feel guilty, when you don't have help, when you're not motivated, when you're just so tired, when you wish things were different, and when you don't have a plan. I've actually read all of these because I am just weird about having to read the whole book front to back. But I will definitely come back to them as situations arise. And as you can see, I have highlighted and flagged a whole lot of these sections, and I will definitely be going back to it. There's even a quick reference section in the back that gives you synopses of certain things. I think this book is something that, I love this book. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Great book. It has a place on my shelf. I will be referencing it a lot in the coming weeks, I am sure. And I would recommend it for any women out there that are feeling overwhelmed and like your systems and your planning are just not working for you and you have tried so many things. There's a lot of great information in this book for women that feel this way. So if that is how you feel and you are looking for help, check this book out. If you're on the fence and you're not sure, then maybe check out some of her recent podcast episodes. Her podcast is The Lazy Genius. You can find it on any of the big podcast players. I listen to it on iTunes to get an idea of her systems, because her whole Lazy Genius system, she applies it in all kinds of ways. That's what the podcast is about, and it's the basis of this book too. Here are some reflection questions that I created after reading the plan. What hard things in your life do you want to make easier? In what ways have you put optimization and productivity before your people? What matters in your life right now? How can you make what matters smaller? In what ways are your preparations for the future keeping you from living today? What season are you living in right now? Where are your expectations not matching the energy you're willing to give? How can you nurture your connections with family, friends, and community? What is causing your brain to feel full? What is in the way of what matters to you, and how can you get rid of it? I suggest pulling out your personal journal and journaling your responses to these reflection questions. Some of the answers you come up with may surprise you. I get action steps from nonfiction books in 2 different ways. The first way is when I'm reading the book, if there is some piece of knowledge that I get from it that I feel will apply to my life, I write it down as an action step to implement in my life. The second way is from my reflection question answers. When you come up with your answers, you will see things that you want to change or modify in your life. I will make them action steps because obviously you cannot do everything at once, so you have to pace yourself. That is where my action item list helps. So that is it for this book review. Thank you for watching, and I will be back next week with more productivity and planning and so forth. Bye.